Hello folks, I'm Smart Cookie Cook and I'm getting ready to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Now I thought about getting one of those Kiss Me I'm Irish t-shirts, but I'm not Irish, so that would have been faulty advertising. However, I could wear a shirt that says, Kiss Me, I'm not Irish, but I make one hell of a pizza. And that's exactly what we're going to do today to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Now if you're saying to yourself, Smart Cookie Cook, I don't think pizza qualifies as Irish food. Yes, you're correct, but we're going to make a shamrock-shaped pizza. It's going to be super easy to put together. You're going to be kind of surprised at how simple it is. And we're going to top it with a homemade spinach-basil pesto, so it's even green in color too. So I got a store-bought crust here. You can find these at any old grocery store. And you don't have to feel bad about not using homemade because we're going to make our pesto from scratch, so it kind of balances out. I'm going to use a toothpick to draw the rough shape of the shamrock, and then we'll go over our little tracing with a knife and cut out the shape we want. So we'll start with just a very little stem. Alright, I'm just going to use a sharp knife to do the carving here. It's a very basic shape, so if you're not artistic, don't be like, oh, I can't make this pizza. It'll help you to visualize if you start pulling away the pieces you've already cut out, so you can get a better idea of the shape you've created and make things good and even. And voila, you have a shamrock-shaped crust. Now for the toppings. Okay, so homemade pesto. Do you have to do it homemade? Of course not. You can get some pretty decent stuff at the grocery store, but it's so easy and it's cheaper if you make it at home. I definitely recommend doing it. Let me show you how. I already have 2 fresh cloves of garlic in here. I want some fresh spinach. I would say about 3 generous cups to start. Then I'm going to add a couple of fresh basil leaves, no stems. Pesto also traditionally has nuts, typically pine nuts. For ours we're going to use some walnuts, so that's what I have on hand. I'd say a good 1/4 cup of nuts. So I want to give this a little pulse on its own, and then we're going to stream in olive oil, and that's going to slowly turn it into that nice, smooth pesto. So we're going to give it a couple pulses. This is the point where we're going to want to add some olive oil. We'll start with just a couple tablespoons. And we're also going to use just a teeny bit of Parmesan cheese. And now we'll pulse again. Well folks, there it is, our smooth and creamy pesto. It's so fresh and really nutritious too with those nuts and the spinach. Alright, so let's take that fresh pesto we just whipped up all by ourselves. Aren't you fancy? And we're going to spread it right on top of our little shamrock here. Pesto is a very flavorful sauce, so if you don't want to use all of it, that's fine, because a little bit does go a long way. You can always save the extra for topping garlic bread, putting on grilled cheese. Pesto has endless possibilities, folks. Perfection. Now for the cheese on our pizza, we're going to use fresh mozzarella, and that's a little bit different from the shredded stuff you buy in the bag at the store. And if you look, you can tell it looks kind of different too. That stuff's the definition of stringy cheese when you bite into it, and it just creates this rope as you pull away the cheese. I've got my mozzarella sliced into some fairly thick slabs, but you don't want them too thick or they're not going to melt well. And you can just spread them out nicely on our little shamrock. It's kind of like putting a puzzle together, you know? Now we'll pop our cheese-covered pizza into my preheated oven here. I got it at 425. And we're going to bake it till it is golden brown, bubbly, and perfectly melty. I can hardly wait. Holy smokes. If this golden brown beauty isn't making you drool right now, then you must not have eyeballs. This is so ooey gooey with that perfectly melted fresh mozzarella and the hot bubbly pesto underneath. I don't know about you, but I cannot wait to get a slice of this. I'll take off the little stem of our shamrock here. Nice easy piece to break off. And the great thing about this is you can easily divide this into 3 servings, huh? Hello, cheesy goodness. Oh my goodness, you guys. Forget the fact that you used a store-bought crust. You can't even tell because you had that fresh, so flavorful homemade pesto and that great gooey melted mozzarella on top. Well guys, you don't need the luck of the Irish to make a pizza this delicious at home. And how impressive is it with that cute little shamrock shape? But you and I both know how easy it was to make. But if you need more great holiday recipe ideas, just ask yourself this: what would the smart cookie cook? Hello folks, I'm the smart cookie cook, and god damn it, we sit down.